guys, it's your girl Dairy Queens here, and today I'm coming at you with another Wizard 101 video. Today's video is something that I don't think anybody else has done, and I'm really excited about it. Back in like 2012 to 2014, there was this app that I was really obsessed with called Wattpad. Some people call it Wattpod, but I call it Wattpad. And there were literally so many stories on there, and I was just obsessed with it, which is really weird because I was never really a big reader. But Wattpad is different because you can literally, like, you can go and write a story and like publish it to this site and anybody can read it. So I don't know, I guess I really liked it because there was stories about everything on there, which leads into today's video. Today I'm going to be reading to you guys a Wizard 101 fanfiction. So I'll be reading it from my phone, but I will show you the pages and stuff on the video. The writer is at Hawaiian Horse 09. Her icon is a cat, which is not a horse. The story is called Magic Wings, Wizard 101 fanfic. So we're gonna start with the first page, Crystal's point of view. Chapter 1. Hi, I'm Crystal, and I am an ice wizard. I'm about to transfer to a different wizard school. Meow, my cat Lulu yells. She hates new places. I kneel down to pet her head, hoping it will relax her. I take a deep breath and start walking. As I take my first step, a white bird with a blue hat pops up out of nowhere. I gasp from the surprise. Hi, my name is Mr. Lincoln, and I am the register here at Ravenwood. Merle Ambrose is the headmaster here, so please talk to him and he will tell you what to do. I need your name and the school talent you have chosen. He said so fast I didn't even have time to blink. He holds a huge smile while staring at me. Hi, my name is Crystal Iceblade, and I am an ice wizard, I said as he wrote everything down on that piece of paper attached to a clipboard. After that was done, he guided me to Merle Ambrose's house. I walked into a colorful and bright room with an old man wearing a robe and a hat. He called my name, and I walked over to him. Welcome, young wizard, to Ravenwood School of Magic Arts. Here, you will train and become an even more powerful wizard than you are. For your first task, please meet all of the professors. I'm sure they will be delighted to meet you, he said quietly. Chapter 2. New Worlds. Crystal's point of view. I imagined Ravenwood to be a quiet place, with small buildings and wizards trying to learn. But when I walked through the gates, it was so much more. It was like a bustling city. Wizards of all talents everywhere, a magical aura, and let's not forget the huge tree in the middle of all of it. I breathed in the fresh, cool air and started with the Storm Professor. His name was Halstrom Baelstrom. Halstrom? Hold on. Is that really his name? His name's Halston. His name was Halstrom Baelstrom. I was a little surprised that he was a frog, but he was very smart and nice. Next, I talked to the ice professor. Her name was Lydia Greyrose. She excited me when she was talking about all the crazy new ice spells. Third was the fire professor. Her name was Dahlia Falmea. I was thinking about taking her classes my secondary school when I was ready. Next up was the death professor. He wasn't really a professor, but he explained it all. I met the last 4 professors quickly and was on my way back to Merle Ambrose's house. I completed some quests that he gave me, and also finished the Unicorn Way quests. When I defeated Rattlebones, he said that Malistaire won't stop all of his stunts of destroying Wizard City and bringing his wife back from the dead. I told Ambrose and he figured that would happen. Months passed by in Ravenwood, and I was learning everything so fast. I learned lots of new spells, got new armor, and leveled up a lot. At that time, Merle called me to his house and told me he had another world called Krakatopia. There, I had to fight more bosses, but they were harder than the ones in Wizard City. I had a lot of hard quests and fought Krakopatra, the last boss of the world. At least 1.5 years passed by, and I was in Dragonspire, the world of dragons, fire, and Malistaire. Chapter 3. Sisters. Crystal's point of view. I wanted to take a break from Dragonspire, so I teleported to my friend in Avalon and started to explore the world. There were a lot of bosses and other creatures to battle. Every time I tried to battle them, they would weaken me a lot. Because I had not been yet to this world, I only teleported. I was walking on a stone sidewalk when everything shifted, and I was somehow now in a dark cave with light at the bottom. I couldn't help but notice you. A random female voice echoes behind me. I gasp, thinking it's a creepy stalker or something, but I slowly turn around. That sounds really creepy. Who are you exactly? I ask the shadow standing in front of me. Yeah, sorry about that, she replies and steps forward. Now I can see her clearly. She has brown hair just like me and is wearing cool blue and white armor. My guess is she's an ice wizard. Anyways, we are sisters, separated when we were younger. She talks sternly, but her mouth forms into a quick smile. How could she even know? You probably have the wrong person. I'm only a child, I say. I'm sure I don't have the wrong person. My name's Raven Iceblade. Same last name, and I know you're an ice wizard too. She spits out facts. I'm still a bit confused, but everything you said about me is true. I sigh and follow her. She teleports both of us to her wooden cottage. Hey, my house is just like this too! I yell to her from outside. She insists that I should get more comfortable, and I didn't have to be nervous. We summoned minions and did a couple of spells. I also let her ride some of my mounts. Crazy thing is, Lulu loves her, and she's not one to get along with new people. We were having a fun time. The last thing we did was battle and cast more new spells. I casted an ice wyvern, and I heard a huge roar and saw water and rocks. It slowly disappeared as I felt the tingle on my back. Chapter 4. Wings. Crystal's point of view. Suddenly, a ray of light almost blinded me as it twisted and turned into a ball, and suddenly wings appeared on my back. They were white angel wings with a silver shimmer in them. What the? I have to tell the headmaster about this. I immediately ran, or should I say, flew, towards the headmaster's tower and told him what had happened. I was at my sister's house, and we were casting spells and minions. Then the last spell I casted was an ice wyvern. After it was gone, a ray of light almost blinded me, and it bunched into a ball, and then the wings just appeared, I said quickly. Slow down. You have a sister? He said with a confused look on his face. Yeah, but that's not the point, I said loudly. I point at my wings, and Merle disappears into his black room. Okay, I did some research on your case, and you have performed the magic ice wing spell that no one has done in years, he says while looking really happy. I still looked confused at him because I didn't know why I had them and what they would mean. I just went back to my dormitory and tried to find any information about the wings. I found out that only ice wizards could cast them, and they could also bring you luck in any battle along with some new ice spells. A day passed by, and I finally got the quests in Dragonspire to defeat Malastare, but to be honest, I was scared. I asked Ambrose if Raven could help me battle him. He thankfully said yes, and we were off to Dragonspire. Raven's point of view. I have never really fought anyone with this much health, but I had Crystal and her wings, so it should be easier for us. We walked into the Crown of Fire, and we had to walk a little bit. Finally, we reached where Malastare was waiting for us. We both turned to each other at the same time. Ready? We both asked each other. Ready! We both shouted. We held hands and ran into the battle circle together. In Chapter 5, Surrender. Malastare's point of view. You foolish wizards are no match for me, the great Malastare! I said out loud. You will lose all your power in less than a second, I laughed. We are stronger than you think, Crystal said. Oh, really? I yelled. And about 3 seconds later, black sparks came out of my wand, and suddenly I summoned a strong and powerful Death Oni. It took lots of power away from the two ice wizards, but they were still standing. Light blue sparks shot out of Crystal's wand, and she summoned a frost giant. Crystal's point of view. Everything was spinning in my mind. What do I cast? When do I cast? And how much health do I have? I didn't have much time to think about anything. It was Raven's turn to cast a spell. Everything went by so quickly, yet he still had a lot of health left. I talked to Raven to see if she had any ideas. Hey Raven, I want to know if there are any spells and shields that can take lots of power away from him. I turned. I don't think you're gonna have to figure it out, Raven said. Okay, I answered. I only had 2,000 health left. Malistaire waved his wand and casted a fire symbol. Quickly, a huge red fire dragon appeared. Its wings flapped, and I could see into its dark mouth opening. I was ready for anything. It shot fire out at me, but it didn't touch me. I wondered if anything was wrong. I closed my eyes. When I opened my eyes, I saw my white wings glowing in the red dark dragonspire room. They lifted me into the air and flapped back and forth. I felt a weird tingly feeling in my hands and looked down at them. In my hands, there was a clear ball with the dragon inside. But the dragon was tiny. My wings nudged towards me in the middle of the battle circle. I threw the clear ball at Malistaire. In seconds, the dragon was facing Malistaire instead of me. It opened its mouth wide, and hot red fire gushed from its mouth. Luckily, I had lots of 50+ shields on. Malistaire jumped back a little bit, then rubbed his eyes, as he was running out of health. Quickly, we casted more spells until he was down to 3,000 health. Chapter 6. We got this. Crystal's point of view. Ah, we did it! We beat Malistaire! I knew we had it in us all along, but I couldn't have done it without my sister. Speaking of her, where is she? I'm right here, she said loudly as if she could read my thoughts. Oh yeah, doesn't it feel great? You know, with the new badge and stuff? I said to her excitedly. Yeah, but I need more of a challenge now, she said while staring into space. Knock knock. I walked over to the door and opened it to reveal Merle Ambrose. What are you doing here? I asked him. Gamma and I have come here to tell you the bad news, he said while shaking his head. I guess Raven had heard what he had said because she was walking over to the door with a worried look on her face. What is it? I gasped. Another evil villain has come to taunt with the spiral. She goes by the name Morganth. Oh, that's horrible. What should we do? I said in shock. There's not a lot we can do. She has unleashed shadow magic. It is too powerful for anyone to deal with. I hope we can stop her, he said, his eyes filling with sorrow. Not if I can help it. I will go to her and fight her with Raven. She said she needed a challenge, and this is perfect, I said looking back at her. I'm sorry, girls. Right now, we all need to just be safe. She can struck at any moment, he said while gesturing Gamma to go back. Goodbye, girls, and be careful, he said while leaving. Raven, did you hear that? Morganth is the new evil in town, I told her. Yeah, and even Merle said we can't mess with her, so we have to stay here, she said while bundling up a blanket and a cup of tea in her hand. It was getting late, so I decided to get ready for bed even though it was Friday. I yawned. I guess I really was tired. I brushed my teeth and put my hair into a bun. Splash! I cupped my hand and ran the cold water into them. I needed to keep myself awake and study for the exams. Even though they were 3 days away, I really didn't want to fail. Spiral History, page 349, I said, and I ran my fingers across the page. Long ago, the Titans summoned. I was interrupted by Raven. I don't get why you are studying, but you can just watch TV here and study tomorrow, she said while refilling her mug with tea. Well, it will pay off when I get an A on the exams, I said, correcting her. She smirked. I looked at the clock. 12 o'clock. Ah! It was pretty late, so I closed the books and curled up on my bed across from Raven's. Night, Raven, I said. Night, Crystal, she answered as I turned off the lights. You little wizard, nothing you can do will stop me from this evil goodness, Morganth screamed while opening up the shadow portal. We will never let you get away with this. Close it now or we will, I also screamed while holding up my wands. Never! Boys, attack her! Morganth yelled, looking towards her shadow beasts. Suddenly, 3 shadow weavers jumped on me and started pulling me towards the bridge connected to the shadow portal. There was probably running water below the bridge, and that's where Morganth needed to be. Get off me! I yelled and kicked one in the face. I was getting closer to the portal, but I finally managed to get myself out of their nasty bug fingers. I pushed both in, and Morganth screamed in terror. You pesky little wizard! They were just a bite! Now let me finish you! She said while opening her eyes wide and pulling out her wand. She picked me up with her dark shadow magic and tossed me over to the opening over the running water. I screamed, trying to get my wand out of my pocket. "Oh, can't get your wand? Let me help you," she whimpered sarcastically. With her other hand, she motioned magic to get my wand out. With a twist of her hand, she broke it. "My wand!" I cried. "Don't you mean your broken wand?" she cackled. Tears spilled from my eyes. I was helpless without a wand, and I was dangling across deadly water. "Nothing could save me, just nothing." "1," Morganth said while taking away the magic slowly as I would fall into the deadly ravine. "2," she said with an evil smile on her face. "3," she said, and the magic was gone. I was falling! I was gonna die, and it was all my fault. I should have listened to Raven and Merle. Bye, Raven. Ah! I opened my eyes. It was only a dream. Chapter 7. Training. Crystal's point of view. I opened my eyes. My forehead was sweaty, and I could see Raven's face. "Hey, good morning," she said loudly. Can I go back to sleep? It's Saturday," I said while turning my back to her. "No, I thought studying would pay off," she said, mocking me. "I'll be downstairs if you need me," Raven said while leaving the room. "Fine," I said sluggishly while pushing the blanket off. Once I was awake, I went downstairs. Raven was there making herself a cup of tea. I yawned, then opened the cabinets. Do I want oatmeal and fruit? No. Maybe pancakes? Too much work. I was feeling lazy today. "Raven, can you please make me some chocolate pancakes, please?" I asked. "Why not?" she said. I turned on the TV. I flipped channels, hoping a good show would come on. As I was flipping through, the Daily Wizard News came on. A girl wizard started talking. "I am here with the witness who saw Morganth," she said. The witness wizard appeared on the screen and started talking. "It was horrible. She snuck up on me and said that she would put me to my doom, but I managed to get away using a tapestry," he said. I gasped. Raven seemed to be watching and looked at me frowning. Suddenly she said, "We have to do something about her." "We can't disobey the headmaster like that," I said. "I know, but that's why I've prepared a plan," she said excitedly. "Raven, we can't sneak behind his back. We could get expelled," I said in a firm voice. "We're not," she yelled. "Fine, tell me your plan," I said, walking to her. She told me all about how we would learn the spells and even learn shadow magic. Then, we would go to the headmaster's house and tell him that we learned the new spells and that we are dedicated to defeating evil. Plus, I have my wings. For the rest of the day, I studied for the upcoming exams and learned some new spells. I also trained my wings and researched how they could become even more powerful. It was about 10 o'clock and I decided to sleep. Here's Chapter 8. This is the last chapter in the story. Training Part 2. Chapter 8. Crystal's point of view. I woke up the next morning with a headache. "Raven, let's get up and start training," I yelled and walked downstairs. "Okay, I'm coming," Raven said. I walked downstairs into the basement we usually never used. When I walked through the doors, I saw a lot of cobwebs and dust. "Raven, looks like we need to clean up first," I shouted. "I'm right here, you don't need to shout," she said. She peered her head inside. "Ew, looks like we do need to clean," Raven said, walking to get a broom. For about 35 minutes, we swept the floor and cleaned the walls. Finally, after what felt like an hour, the basement looked like a proper room. "Phew," I said. "I'll go get the training equipment," Raven said. I tapped my foot on the battle circle. I didn't really like waiting. Raven came back with some new, never-used glowing wands, treasure cards, and a big book called Learning Shadow Magic. We stepped into the battle circle and got ready. I was up first. The first spell I used was Ice Blade. I had a strategy I was going to stick to. Raven got a power pip and she used Balefrost. I saw the icy blue rim circle around the room and the temperature got colder. Since we were ice wizards, the cold didn't bother us. We battled together for a while, then we stopped to read the Shadow Magic book. The battle circle disappeared. Raven opened the book carefully and turned to the first page. She started to read. Shadow magic is very dark, harsh, and powerful magic. It is very difficult to be able to grasp the breathtaking benefits that these spells have to offer. To be able to use shadow magic, you must have a new type of pip called a shadow pip. It is only possible to obtain shadow pips once you have mastered the art of shadow magic. While shadow spells can be helpful, they do come with a cost. Backlash. Backlash starts at 30% for all shadow spells. At the end of the 3-round shadow transformation, it will deal damage on you, ignoring all resists, shields, and modifiers. We better start mastering shadow magic, I said. True, Raven said. She closed the book and sheltered it into the bookshelf. We decided to head off to Chrysalis to learn a little bit more about Morganth and to obtain the slightest bit of shadow magic. Whiz! We both teleported to Ravenwood so we could teleport in Bartleby. A few seconds later, we were standing in front of Bartleby. Excuse me, I said, walking to the World Tree door. Just then, I saw a girl fire wizard fall to the ground. My guess was that somebody bumped her on accident. Whoa, let me help you, I said, reaching my hand out to her. Thanks, she said. Wait, I think I know you, I said. What, Crystal the Ice Wizard? She asked. Yeah, OMG, are you Amber Sunblaze? I asked back. Yeah, it's so good to see you, she said, hugging me tight. Raven walked up to us with a confused look on her face. Who is that? She whispered in my ear. Oh, Raven, me, Amber Sunblaze, my best friend from my old school, I said cheerfully. Hi, Raven said while shaking Amber's hand. Oh, sorry, wait, do you want to learn shadow magic with us? I whispered. I haven't really learned about it, but sure, she said. All 3 of us walked into the World Tree door with big smiles on our faces. When my sister and I teamed, we were amazing. Now include your BFF. So, that's the end of the story. The author's note says, OMG, this was a really fun chapter to write. What do you guys think so far? This is the 8th chapter and I've decided to end the book. Okay, well, if I'm completely honest, I think that Wizard101 fanfictions are like really, I don't know, they're just like nostalgic to me because I used to read them whenever I was a kid and I don't know, it's just fun to imagine stories about Wizard101, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Anyway guys, I hope that you liked this video of me reading to you guys, and also let me know your thoughts on this story. Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? What's going on in your head right now? Alright, I love you guys. Bye!